Hello everyone, Tina here. Thank you so much for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. Today we're using a stamp set from Sunny Studio called Missing You, and it is a smaller one, so I picked up the coordinating dies, and then we're going to also use a Birch Press design die set called Simple Love. It's a two-piece set. One cuts out just the letters LOVE, and then the other one is a spells out the word love, but they're all connected. So we're going to create a background with this, and we're going to start off by coloring in our little U. There is two sheep in this set. One of them is a side profile, the other one is front view facing. That's the one we're going to use for our card today. I'm going to take that and grab my Memento ink. We're going to stamp on some Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock. We're actually going to stamp this guy twice. We're not going to worry about coloring in the fluff, but I'm just going to use my cool gray markers, my C1, C3, and I believe I used my C4. My C3 is kind of running out to do a little bit of highlighting, and then I did rosy up my little sheep's cheeks with my RV10. Now, I'm only going to use, I'm going to die cut out the lower left sheep with my die. The top one, I only worried about coloring in his face because we're going to fussy cut out his face. I'm going to separate my dies, and we are going to use there is a missing or a miss U in the die set. I'm going to use just the U, but I wanted to add a little color to it. So I thought since we had the gray markers on my craft desk, we would do a little bit of shading with those. I'm going to line up this guy here, grab my markers, and we're going to start off with our darkest color. And I believe this, now this might be C6, and then I'll bring in my C3, and then we are going to go ahead and blend out with my C1. Just create a little bit of a gradient to die cut out my, my U. We'll set that over the top here and run these through the die cutting machine. Now once these are die cut out, I'm going to take that same U die, and I will use that same cardstock, die cut out that U with the white cardstock that's left over, and then I'll fussy cut out the face of my second sheep. But you can see the gradient here that I created with that. The second U, just the face, and I did cut all the way to the line. I thought we'd add a little bit of dimension to our sheep. This is a cute way to do it when the face is separate. In the middle, I mean. Now to give this a little bit of a clean look, I'm just using my C6 marker and going around the edges, and you can see I already die cut out the rest of my U's. We're going to create a little bit of dimension with our sentiment, so we're going to layer all three of these together. The glue that I'm using is only available in my shop. Yes, I wanted something for the longest time to do this to my die cutting, and so I created this little jar. It's a pretty little plastic jar that you can refill with your own glue, but I sell this filled with glue over in my shop if you guys want to check it out. I tried to keep the price point down. It's the shipping that kills you, but I think you're going to love it. It has a little felt tip, and it doesn't ooze out. When the dies are this little or intricate, it works perfectly for layering or even for adhering small dies, big dies too. You have that little cushion. I have lots of different glues. Some of them have fine tips. Some of them are thicker glues with bold tips. But I wanted something that would be easy to cover. You can see using a fine tip, even a glue pen, sometimes my glue pens clog. So this is something that won't clog, and it's easy to, again, to refill with your favorite glue. So if you're interested, something new to check out. I did start my little online shop. I'm slowly trying to fill it up. I have a little extra time since we closed our bakery, and this is keeping me occupied, and it's a place too where I could share some of my cards, but it's over there if you guys want to check it out. Okay, everything's set to go. I'm gonna do something kind of fun. I'm gonna add a little glue to my little sheep here, and the nice thing about the tip of this on the wand, again, it's like a little felt tip, but it's it doesn't feel like you're putting anything on there, but there's glue on there. I'm going to take some cotton. Now, if you do this, I recommend a real cotton ball. I don't recommend a synthetic cotton because I don't think it would stick or look as well. I recommend a real cotton ball. And if you don't have real cotton ball, check your medicine cabinet because sometimes medicines will have that cotton in there. When you remove the safety seal, that will work just as well too. So something to think about there. But I added my cotton, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a foam square and add my little sheep head right in the center. And then I'm going to add a little bit more glue to his forehead, and then we're going to add a little bit more cotton to his forehead. So we have a nice fluffy, I think a few years ago I did this to clouds and I loved the outcome, and it's so easy to do, but this little sheep was perfect for that. I was trying to hold him up close, but my camera seems to get a little blurry. But we have a little dimensional critter here. We're going to set this aside, and now we're going to work on our background with our simple love dies. The simple love dies, again, are two pieces. One of them will cut out the word love and they're all connected, but the skinnier one will cut out just the letters. Dies like this are super neat because I'll show you what you can do. You can die cut out each of these. I'm going to just die cut out the solid one here. Once this is die cut out, there is embossed detail on there, which is really nice, but I'm going to take this die, which will cut out just the letters. I'm going to line it up over the embossed detail on top of the love die, and what it's going to do is create an outline. It was perfectly sized to do this, and then you're going to also have lots of the letters LOVE left over, so if you want to make another project with that, you can. I'm going to line them up, and this is the outline that you come up with. So it's going to be the same size as your background, and it's great for layering. So that's what we did. I did 3 backgrounds and then 3 of the outlines. These are all the pieces that cut out after you do that. And you can fairly make another card with this very easily. I'm going to keep them in the back of my die cut packaging. That way they're good to go next time I want to die cut. Okay, we are going to do some ink blending. Well, not really blending. We're just going to add a little color to our background love. The first color that I'm using is Sponge Sugar. Love this color. It's a super soft, delicate pink, and all the inks that I'm using are Distress Oxide inks. And I'm just adding color to the very bottom of my sentiment here. I'm going to do the same thing, but this next color I'm going to do a slightly darker pink, which is Worn Lipstick. I wanted to do 3 different color shadings for my background. And again, we're just going to add color to the very bottom of our love, kind of blending it up. So the top of our love is white, bottom is very pink. And after we have our worn lipstick, we're going to use another shade of pink, but this time we're going to go a little bit darker, and we're going to use Picked Raspberry. Picked Raspberry is such a pretty color, and I thought if we did a gradient of the love, it would look really nice on our card today. Just going to add some Picked Raspberry to the very bottom. And I'm just using my blending brush to do this. If you have a blending tool, you could very well do that, or even a finger dauber would work good too. So we have our loves all done, and this is the way we're going to layer them on our card project too. Now I want to adhere my outline love over the top. I think it just gives a really nice look. So I'm going to scoot these up. I'm actually going to take my stamp chamois and clean off my desk a little bit so we can continue without getting ink everywhere. But we're going to flip over our outline, and I'm going to use my same little glue container, and we're going to go over, I haven't came up with a name for the glue container yet, but I'm going to add this over the outline. And again, none of it oozes out, which is so nice, but it does cover it, guys. It covers it very nicely. And another thing too is it doesn't clog. How many times have we bought glue and it clogs? This won't do that. At least it hasn't did it yet. I'm going to add this, and then I'm going to take my inside O piece, add a little glue behind that, and then we're going to go ahead and adhere that on the inside of our O. And I'm going to continue on and do that to my other two loves until they're ready to go. I think that looks so pretty. Well, I love pinks anyway, so I think that looks extra pretty with the gray. Okay, they're all done. Now we're going to create a background. I'm going to bring in an embossing folder. Now the embossing folder that I am going to use is from Sizzix, and I believe it's Tim Holtz and Sizzix, and it's called a Texture Fade Lace embossing folder. Now when I used this embossing folder last, I actually had created a little project kit to where you guys could create the same card that I'm doing without having to buy all the stuff. You just buy the little kit. Well, I'm going to do that again with this card, and I'm going to put it in my shop. So if you're going to go and check out the glue, if you want this little project kit, I'll include this in the shop. You can browse, but basically it's just my card shop. You can, like I said before, I'm still filling it in, so bear with me on that. But I thought it'd be a fun little extra way to earn some money with my little card shop. Usually I sold my cards in my bakery, and I do donate some of my cards to a church that's down the way, and we actually have a nursing home down here. I haven't, since we're new to the town, I still haven't ventured over there, but my cards are building up, so I wanted a way to sell my cards too. So that's where they're at, and the link's down below if you guys want to check it out. But I did trim off about 1/8 of an inch all around my embossed panel, added that to my A2 size card base. Now with all of my loves, I'm going to add some very thin strips of foam adhesive. Another way to add dimension would be to die cut out a few more of the loves and layer them together. But I think they're wide enough to add some thin strips of foam adhesive. So that's what I'm going to do with all 3 of these. Once we have adhesive added, we're going to arrange them from lightest to the darkest in the center of our card front here, kind of evenly spacing them out. And I love the softness of this. Just think it looks very pretty. I'm going to go ahead and add some glue behind my U. This is going to go on the very bottom right corner, just under the E. And then we're going to go ahead and add tape behind our little fluffy little sheep. Now my intention was to put them in one of the O's. And so I opted for the middle one. We're going to go ahead and just flip him over, add some adhesive, and stick him down over the O of the love. And then I think we have a lot of texture in our card, so I'm not going to add any more bells and whistles. I didn't want to even add any glitter or anything because I love the softness of it. But that is my project for today, guys. Oh, you know what I think I do want to do? I think I want to dot the nose of my U with my Journey glaze, just to give a little extra depth to his little nose. And I think that will finish my project today. The Journey glaze is thinner than Glossy Accents, so I wiped it off and we're going to do a redo for his little nose. But when it dries clear, it does give a little dimension to him. So that's my project again for today. Thanks for joining me for Try It Out Tuesday. I will see you next week, and I am super excited about this pretty little glue container. So again, it'll be listed below if you guys want to check it out. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.